Louder Than Life has just announced the new layout for 2025. Will it be good or will it be bad? A lot of people don't like it, but I think it's gonna be great. Welcome back to another X-Ville adventure. I know it has been a very long time since I posted a video. The last video I actually posted was Louder Than Life last year during the hurricane. And if you guys were there, you will understand why they probably moved the festival. I'm standing right here in front of Freedom Hall, and this is the fountain. And if you look at the map, this is where the VIP is going to be hanging out. You guys get a fountain and Freedom Hall. Right now, they're currently setting up for the Kentucky State Fair. So that'll also give us some good bearings on how this will function. I think, personally, they should have done this a long time ago. They moved the festival to the Highland part of the festival grounds back in 2019 because 2018 Champions Park got flooded. So they moved it over here, which is back that way, past the Triangle building there, to the Highland Festival grounds. So Louder Than Life was there for the past 6 years. I say 6 lightly because there was one 2020 canceled COVID year. But yeah, it's been pretty good over there, and it's been hot and sunny constantly until last year, where it had a hurricane come through and basically flooded the entire place. There was mud up to everybody's ankles. It was just hazardous and dangerous and a lot of fun if you were there. But yeah, you got to see Slipknot during a hurricane storm, and that's pretty cool. But unfortunately, Slayer got canceled on their day, and all the other bands for that day got canceled. So they couldn't get the grounds going properly without any hazards. So I'm assuming that's why they're putting it here. Everybody's complaining because it's basically going to be in this parking lot. But parking lots get hot, and it's fine. You know why? You know why it's fine? Because look at all these trees. Look at all this place you get to hang out. As I said, the Kentucky State Fair is setting up right now. But this is going to be the VIP section for Louder Than Life. And it's going to go all the way into this tree line. You guys are going to have stands and everything. And if you look back there, there's a bunch of shade, bunch of awning. So it's going to be pretty good. Plus, Kentucky Kingdom is part of the festival now, which is awesome. I think that's amazing. But here's the VIP thing. Just basically looking at this map here that they have provided, I think it's a little bit off, but it's not too much. This is the pathway that leads from VIP. There's all these trees here. I don't think they're going to destroy these trees just for our festival. So either the stages are going to be on this side of the tree line or this side of the tree line. I'm going to assume it's going to be on this side of the road, simply because there is no tree line to obstruct any view over here. But it is a pretty massive parking lot, and when they were going to move it to the fairgrounds back in 2019, I assumed it was going to be in this parking lot anyway. But the fact that they didn't do it confused me. But now that the contract has been renewed for 10 more years, I think they needed something a little bit more stable, and this does it pretty well. Now, if indeed the stages are on that side of the tree, guess what? You have shade. If not, guess what? It's no different than what it was over there, where it was hot. I don't know if you guys were at 2019, but I call that one hotter than hell. All the Louder Than Lives have their own nicknames for me. That one's hotter than hell. Wet as is. Now, last year it used to be 2018 because that one got canceled, but we didn't actually play in the rain, so this time we played in the rain. Literally all this area from the fountain, I'm going to assume to like right over here, is going to be the VIP grandstand. And they're either going to be over the bushes, behind the bushes, probably right where I'm standing because this parking lot's massive. I don't know if you've seen the stages for Louder Than Life, but it's not going to span the entire parking lot, so probably somewhere in the middle. But if you've ever been to the fair before, this place is well suited for everything you need. If indeed the VIP grandstand is somewhere right here, then I'm going to assume All of this going to the West Wing will be free game for everybody else, considering the West Wing is where they have labeled the merchandise area. That place is bigger than you guys think also. They hold like 500-600 cows inside, plus sheep and all kinds of other livestock during the fair. It's a pretty massive building. There's also like 5 or 6 other halls that they can use for lounges and stuff. So it's pretty great to get out of the heat and into the AC. But also, I'm not gonna walk over there because they're setting up for the fair, but if you see these awnings, they line this entire pathway, at least from Freedom Hall to the West Wing. So you got some shade, and there's a courtyard back there where that truck just drove into. It's got a lot of space to kind of hang out in the shade. Now, I don't know how much of this will be blocked off for VIP. I'm going to assume it's going to stop here, and the stages will go over there. They may have tents on this lawn. They might not. Knowing Louder Than Life, there'll probably be tents everywhere. One thing I was concerned about was food, because on the map, they don't show any of the food like they usually do, which I'm sure there'll be food vendors everywhere. But it had me concerned that they're only going to have Kentucky Kingdom food, but I don't think that's the case. So don't quote me there. This is the West Wing Hall. This is the pathway that goes to where the stages will be for the other stages. But yeah, this is plenty of space for the 2 main stages. I don't see a problem here. There is not a lot of shade here, but there was never really a lot of shade to begin with at the main stages. So, and you're gonna have Kentucky Kingdom in the background, so that's gonna be pretty cool for those videos that they've got. This entire thing is shaded. So there's ample shade, and there's a cat. There's plenty of shade, lots of space to beat the heat, but I'm not going to get too much into it. Like I said, they're setting up for the fair, which we will be coming to that. And with Louder Than Life, I don't expect this road to be open like it is right now. It's going to be empty for the festival. Plenty of spots to sit right here in the shade, back there in the shade. Just line the street with trees. Plus the fact that Kentucky Kingdom is going to be open. I know a lot of people have complained about that, but that's a game changer. Now that West Wing is down there, but it also opens up right here. I'm going to assume this is going to be the merch entrance and the lounge entrance. There's also another door around the corner there, so it's a safe bet that they'll have both doors open. I used to work at Kentucky Kingdom back in the day when it was still Six Flags, so I know this land pretty well. I know that land very, very well. But yeah, we're going to walk over towards where the other stages will be, and then I'm going to kind of time how long it takes to walk from each end. And if you guys watch a lot of my videos, you know I come to the fairgrounds a lot for a bunch of different events. For the flea market, for the fair. We come here for Louder Than Life usually, for Kentucky Kingdom, you name it, we're always here. We haven't been to Kentucky Kingdom in about 4 years though. Now there's some doors here. There's also some doors where it says W6, and there's a big door right there. During the fair, they keep animals in there, and those doors are wide open. I'm going to assume they're going to be open for this, because this will be the lot for the other 2 stages and the Big Bourbon stage. We'll walk back here and kind of show you guys a little bit. The parking lot's pretty full, so I don't know how vast of a scenery I can show you. But yeah, there's tons of places to get shade. There's some shade right here with these trees. As you can see, this says West Wing. We're basically on the side of the building. We just walked from that way. Kentucky Kingdom is there. The building is behind this tree line, so you got a lot of shade here also. But yeah, I'm assuming that door's gonna be open because you're gonna be able to just walk right out here and go to the festival. The festival is going to have 2 entrances this year. One of them is going to be around the corner there from Broadbent Arena. I don't know if they're gonna have anything in this field. I'm assuming if they do, it'll be like a drink tent or some food or whatever. But they plan to have a stage right here in this part of the lot, and then at the very end have 2. So the other 2 main stages, so you know how Louder Than Life usually has two up front, two in the back, and then they have a bunch of other ones scattered out. So the two in the back will be back here. So this will be your levels 3 and 4 bands. And there is tons of shade. So if you're watching the band that's playing on the stage here, you have the option for shade there. And they do have the free concerts for the fair back here every year. So in the next couple videos, we'll come to the fair and I'll show you what that kind of looks like, because I assume it's going to be very similar. There's always tents and stuff out here. All right, we are at the end of the lot by the tree, and gate 2 is just past that stop sign there. If you're a local, you know gate 2. This is the main gate we usually use to come into the fairgrounds. However, if you're coming to Louder Than Life, I would advise you not to use this gate. I have a strong suspicion that the road that circles the road will be closed right here. Why? Because, well, 2 of the stages will be right here. I'm sure a lot of the bus traffic will be going over to this lot over here where these trailers are for that. But yeah, this is the lot for both the stages. It's actually quite big. It's a lot of space, more than back at the Highland Park. But here is the tree. It is now 3:17. We're going to time our walk back to the other lot. Let's go. Quick interjection here. This is where the Bourbon stage is, Broadbent Arena, West Wing. There's this tree line here. Please respect the cemetery when you're here. So I'm going to assume the main stages are going to be centered over here. So we continue on to where the last stage will be. Okay, so this parking lot behind me is where Tier 5 stage will be. And it's basically a good parking spot for the fair, but it's a 10-minute walk from those back stages to here. So if you need to get across, count for 10 minutes at least. Now that 10 minutes didn't have all the people walking with me. So just keep that into account when you want to see your band. This is the other side of Ring Road, and that is why I assume it's going to be closed all the way up to the main gate, because people are going to be crossing this road into that parking lot for one of the stages. That parking lot is a big one. That one does get hot. There's no trees and viewing areas. They did, however, demolish the bowling alley that's over there. So I'm going to assume that's going to be for additional parking, if not camping. I believe it's going to be camping though. Camping usually also goes into that parking lot and back behind Kentucky Kingdom. Louder Than Life is going to be very interesting this year. I think it was last year where I showed you guys from way across the parking lot, there was a line lined up here to get into the Highland grounds. And it's actually a pretty nice chill spot with all the shade and all the trees. It's really not a far walk to the main stage from either of those. And we all know that's why you're here, the main act. This is going to be where Louder Than Life is. So the main stages will be here in this slot, right over there facing Kentucky Kingdom. And like I said, that'll make really cool drone shots, footage from the stage while the bands are performing. Kentucky Kingdom will be open 2 to 9. However, the big Ferris wheel will be open till 10. And I'm going to assume that's because it's going to be lit up for the last couple bands playing here on the main stage. Like I said, it's going to be a stage here. So that's stage Tier 5, I believe, will be over here. Tiers 3 and 4 will be in that parking lot way over there by Broadbent Arena, the one that's a 10-minute walk away. And the Bourbon stage will be right outside where Broadbent Arena is there. There is one more stage, but that is inside Kentucky Kingdom, in the amphitheater. But Kentucky Kingdom will be its own video. Kentucky Kingdom will be open with 18 rides. However, Hurricane Bay will not be open. So there won't be any swimming, but I bet there's going to be some swimming in the fountain by some VIP. This reminds me of something that used to be called Rock and Ride Festival here at Six Flags. They had like 20 small, tiny stages throughout the park, and just a bunch of local bands, bigger local bands, you name it, they were here. And it was a lot of fun. I discovered a lot of music back then. That was 2003, 2004, who knows, long time ago. But here we are, louder than life. 2025 is coming up really fast. Okay, in the last 6 years, this is the main entrance where you would get dropped with your ride shares. It is now going to be one of the entrances. I'm assuming you're just going to come in and turn around up there. Come on in, because one of the stages will be here and the main stage will be right there. But yeah, in previous years, you would get your will call tickets inside that building and walk up this way and then cross the street there where that red truck is into the festival grounds. Now, I can't give you too many details about parking. I'm going to assume that parking, you will come in through the main gate or the gates on Preston Highway. If you come in Crittenden Drive, you're probably going to be in a lot of traffic, but there is parking all the way around the buildings of the fairgrounds. Plus, now that nobody is using the Highland Ground anymore for the festival, that's a lot of space for parking. So don't worry about parking. If you're worried about ADA and wheelchair accessible, it's the fairgrounds. There's so many ramps and ways for you to get around. That won't be an issue. And again, you have the West Wing for air conditioning. There's a lot of places inside Kentucky Kingdom, which if you watch my Kentucky Kingdom video next, you will see all the cool spots to go in there. Kentucky Kingdom is smoke-free. They do have designated areas to smoke. I don't know how they're going to go with these rules during the festival, because we all know during the festival, yeah, people do what they want and nobody says anything. Just how it goes. However, I'm sure Kentucky Kingdom will have a different set of rules for that. But we will go over the rules for the festival in another video. There goes the coaster. I plan on doing another video coming up once they drop the schedule lineup to talk about the bands I want to see and how I'm going to maneuver this festival. So that's the new layout for Louder Than Life 2025. I think it's a brilliant idea. Put it right here in the middle of the parking lot of the fairgrounds. You have plenty of space for more stages. It's only a 10-minute walk from here to the other side. Yeah, it could get hot, but hopefully we have some cloud coverage. But if it rains, we don't get rained out. It's concrete. We'll be fine. It won't be muddy like last year. Plus, the addition of Kentucky Kingdom is great, because I don't know about you guys, but when I go to Louder Than Life, there's a lot of people who just sit around with kids and elderly and stuff, which is fine, but this gives them something else to do and kind of clear the pathway. Go ahead and like and subscribe and all that good stuff to stay up to date with videos like this. I am going to be posting a lot more. I'm sorry I've been gone for quite a while. Had a lot of life things happen to me. Lost a dog, got married, bought a house, all that good stuff. I have been filming, just haven't had time to edit anything, but I'm going to start focusing on picking up things again here now. But again, kick it X-Ville style. I love you guys. Pac-Man out. I will say this though, walking on this concrete is pretty hot and there is no shade. They are going to put AstroTurf down, or some kind of turf, that can hopefully cool it down a bit, but with this much concrete, they're probably gonna need some misting fans and stuff like that too. Definitely stay hydrated when you're here for Louder Than Life.